exercise authority and keep on exercising authority over men. There is no man who likes being under a woman totally. You understand? Partly because we women make very terrible bosses. As a woman, I'd rather work for a man. Because why? Sometimes you cannot help it, you cry a little bit, his heart is softened and he lets you go. With a woman, she knows everything and very detailed, and it drives you crazy with all the funny things that she asks you. Am I right? You men who work for women bosses. Look, I know what a woman is like, And even as a woman, I don't like going under women bosses. You just need to find certain type of women, they're okay to be under bosses when they're very understanding. But there are certain type of women who will kill you, you know. But it's because of the way God made us, and we need to learn why later on. Here, so you understand, because this is a timeless principle, it is best applied in a family context, because you understand the man is the rightful head. And this is why only in the scriptures do you know it's a woman. I mean, when you think of what the scriptures say, the only part where you can truly apply this case where a woman is not to exercise authority over man, the valid reason is also only because the man is the husband, only her husband. You understand? You notice in scriptures women exercise authority over many other men. But very seldom do you see them exercising authority over their husband if they are godly women. You understand? So it doesn't, the principle, if it's to be timeless, I believe it has to be applied only to, in a marriage context. That's why 3 under this is possible in the Greek. And you will have some scholars who will also tell you it is possible in the Greek. Now, if the Greek is not possible, then I won't say a thing. Are you following? Okay? But there's a possibility, so we leave it to the men in your churches and the leaders in your churches to tell you which part they want to. And if you choose to be in that church, you just follow the authority that's up there. We are not here to upset things and not to fight over our rights in any way. If Jesus himself gave up his rights, we need to follow him. Alright, so here, the improper behavior of a woman is to always try to teach your man. You can teach other men, but don't teach your husband. If he's willing to sit down, if he's willing to ask you or sit under you, that's fine. But you don't tell him. It's like this. You send him to my classes and I'll teach your husband for you. No problem. He can get angry with me, it's all right. But when he gets angry, you're not easy because you're in the same bedroom together. You understand? So when you understand this, then it helps you. The other thing that doesn't work is to keep pushing, hey, this tape is good, this book is good, this is very fed up. Or every time leave up, bring cups that says, for God so loved the world, or, give all these things. That's what women want to do. Please don't. He gets very fed up. I mean, he's not stupid, This man is very bright. It's just that that's not the way to move him. And what I'm trying to say is, men are men, women are women, and you have to learn ways whereby you are to move and motivate and influence one another instead of driving each other away from the Lord or away from one another. You understand? So you need to learn to do it God's way. And one of the ways for us women to never do, number 1, to not control your husbands. Number 2 is don't teach or exercise authority over your husband. He has a choice. There are certain things like you have a baby, right? He doesn't know how to diaper a baby. He asks, how to do it, There you can tell him. You understand? But when he do it, even though it keeps dropping, doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? Just let him try. Pretty soon he'll be okay, and then we all learn one way or another. So here, this is a very strong but. Instead of teaching and exercising authority over the man, what should you do? You should remain quiet. And you have to understand this in the context of Ephesus, where the women priestesses, the women are the one in pagan religions who are the heads. You understand? So in the light of that context, you can understand why Paul would give such a strong word to say, women, no. In the pagan world, this is what you did. No, in the Christian context, you need the proper order that God intends so that in terms of human relationships, it can be honoring to God. And here the reason, it was Adam who was first made, plaso, to form, to fashion, to create. And remember, just because he's first made doesn't mean, it says here, priority does not mean superiority. Here it just means greater responsibility. Why? Because you are the head. The whole of creation, in a sense, is your responsibility, and you have to steward and them properly. It says it was not Adam who was deceived. And the Greek word apatao, to cheat, to beguile, to trick, to mislead, contrasted with the women, but the women being quite deceived. The word is ex apatao. You see, the words are the same, except that this has a preposition. This one means to deceive completely, to deceive successfully. She was thoroughly blinded by the serpent, so she ate. But remember, Adam knew. And his sin is even worse because he knew it was wrong. He was not deceived by the serpent, but he was what? His desire for his wife kept him from obeying the Lord. And that's why you must understand the power that women have to influence your husbands. Now please understand, in the fall, even when the man knew it was wrong, yet he still did what was wrong because the women enticed him, right? So women power, isn't it? Power to influence your husband for better things or for worse things. It's your choice, and you will reap the consequences. So you better learn to influence your husbands for better things, to be the godly man God wanted him to be. That's within your power to do, and that would be your ministry as long as you're married. The woman being quite deceived fell into transgression, but women shall be preserved through the bearing of children if they continue in faith and love and sanctity with self-restraint. Verse 15 is a verse that the Mormons use to teach that women shall be saved through childbearing, because the Greek word shall be preserved is the word sozo, meaning to save. Literally, she shall be saved, basically. And so you have to ask yourself, again, context. So you know these are difficult verses, and if you don't understand the context, it's very hard to understand what's being said here. And here there's an interesting thing about the translations, and I just want to run through very quickly so that you shall see that when you study the scriptures and you have many versions of the Bible, it's very helpful because whenever they say different things, then you know this verse is, you better go check the Greek or you better go check the Hebrew in order to understand what it means. NAS says, women shall be preserved through the bearing of children if they continue. NIV, women shall be saved if they continue. It's the same. But RSV says something different, Revised Standard. Woman, singular now. You notice? Are you beginning to see the difference now? All right. Woman will be saved through bearing children if she, and here is singular, whereas here is plural. You begin to understand, what is it? Is there error in the Bible? No, you just need to understand. The translators are usually translating in accordance to their theology. New King James says, she, singular, instead of woman, see the words changed now, will be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith, love. And you see now it's different. Which one is it? Is it she, they, or they, she, or you understand? Which one is it? You go to the King James, she shall be saved in childbearing if they. Again, it's the same here. And then ESV, she shall be saved through childbearing if they continue in faith and love and holiness with self-control. What is the answer? The answer is go to the Greek. The Greek word is sothe, sesete, meaning she shall be saved. Third person singular. So this is the better translation. New King James, and the second part is they, because it's third person plural if they continue. So these are the better translations. This one here, you ask yourself, why did the New American Standard translate it this way? Because they assume that the whole passage is talking about woman. Yet the answer is no, it is not. In the context of the verse, you begin to see, right? It shouldn't be woman because they should translate it as she. And then here, if they say this is all women, that they are all the women. And the answer is no, it is not. Talking about she shall be preserved to the bearing of children if they, who was the they? Both the man and the woman, if they both continue in faith, love, and sanctity with self-restraint. Are you following? I'm just trying to show you, when you try to settle doctrine in the scriptures, you must go to the original languages and not argue on the English alone. Are you following? Okay? Just a little thing for you to understand. What does it mean? Here it is, the cure is women, you don't need to grab authority from your husband so that you can be number one, because what? Where are you always number one? In what? Bearing children. Who does children always want? Mommy! Am I right? Every time the guy, mommy, very seldom daddy, right? Unless mommy is such a terrible mommy. You understand what I'm saying? So women, you never need to grab prominence from your husband. Why? That's why it says the cure for wanting to grab authority or being number one is you're always number one in the field of childbearing. You understand? So what shall you be saved from? The word sozo, to save, means you're saved from wanting this position that your husband already has. Your husband has a God-given position, but you also have a God-given position where you're usually first place in your child's heart. You're the first person in your child's life. Isn't that so? And so you notice there is a balance there. Your husband is there because God has him to work and bring in the bacon so that you can fry it and then you raise up children. And both of you working together will have a home that is in harmony with what the Lord says. You follow? That's why it's not an easy verse to translate, to interpret, but at least hopefully this will give you a beginning understanding. So women, The curse is your desire shall be for your husband. It means you want to control your husband. As a result, you mustn't do it. To do it means more pain and destruction and horrible things. Second thing is for relationship